What is it then?
Who are you? That which eats the light. In the distance, without a surrendering of a keen distinction, long forgotten. Do you remember who you were then? A vagabond in a crypt of subtle need. The world is who she is, kneeling before her master, in a signal echo timeless, born unto you. Who am I now? What is my meaning, my quest? I am the first river, a pillar of weakened majesty. In the finality of existence, I crumble and remain as ashes in the wind. Beat upon my waking heart as you call out to me along the shoreline. There has never been a then, so I am now all that I've ever been. A never-changing consequence at the end of the swirling mass of regret and need. To breathe in a lasting impression for that which remains. Kill a softened bird and let it eat itself. Upon the stone of methodology, a blind man calls, drowning while eating, and you laugh and kiss the earth with no return. Did you always dream in darkness? A light and load is a desire unfulfilled, so we all wait in pitied courtyards on the brink of the sea. Hearken unto me, for I am all that is, and the journey is long. Close your eyes before you bleed darkness.
Let me see into the inner world to remember things I hate. Yeah. Not really sure what I'm supposed to do here. I thought you'd like this. Just figured you'd want to have a hand in how it went. Have you ever seen corn grow? Or when you drive past rows of it, how strange it looks. Passing you by, it looks like something foreign and lost. Lovely, too, I suppose. Memorable, at least. I just would prefer not to talk about my sister. There's like a black box. You see it, don't you?
I am present in the air. Am I a voiceless premonition? A distant memory in casual abuse?
Oh, never mind. That doesn't make sense. And it's raining, of course. But you like the rain, don't you?
We went that day under the pretense that you cared about my birthday. I guess you wanted to show me affection, but you were never really good at that. It took you a while to react to anything that I did. A beach, sandless and grey. Sandless only in the sense that one doesn't gather joy from it, rather it drains emotionally from you. It is autumn, or it seems like it. Coldness surrounds and feeds on the air, and a human touch gathers what warmth it can before it is snuffed out.
Down the side streets, where the houses press upon you, like sunflowers in a small yard, beautiful and towering.
There's a house not far from where we were that you knew of growing up. You avoided it, but I always thought you needed to address it. It wasn't good to avoid issues, but that idea never seemed to take coming from me. It was a danger best suited to someone else.
In the morning, gray and bright, I am waiting.
You never acted like you wanted to be married. And then you would at different times, and it was confusing. I hated confusion. I grew up in a tight family, and they didn't know how to live beyond themselves. And even though you did too, we never seemed to gel as well as I thought or wanted.
I never liked rain. When it rained as a kid, it meant we stayed inside, watching television. I used to watch whatever my sister watched.
There was a confusion, I think. You wanted to be married, but you didn't. Even on my birthday, you just wanted to fight, but pretend it was fine. You nagged a lot. There was always something that wasn't done, no matter how much was actually done. So here it was again. It was surprising to me, though I feel like your lack of care shouldn't surprise me. It was my birthday, and you still found a way to blame me for something.
She was older than me, and so I wanted to be near her. Dad was sad, so I didn't care. Did you pick the place and call them? I told you to do it 3 days ago. Why do we never drive anymore? Maybe I'm left remaining too.
It was frustrating living with you. I was like an observer to what was supposed to be equal. I swear there was something you didn't want me to have, but I couldn't put my finger on it. So here I am on my birthday fighting about something that didn't really matter.
Somewhere out in the distance, crying out to you. I thought you were listening. I hate that you act like all my problems stem from something else, besides me feeling them. How come it has to be because I feel torn up about my sister? What if I just feel it anyway?
Alongside, the river grows into the sea, claiming a lilting existence. The bridge rises above the world, or so it feels.
I think you don't really want me to feel things as I do. It's too much for you, which doesn't make any sense.
I didn't know if you knew I was crying, or if you ever did. I don't think people who cause problems know they cause them. I did believe in God, for a little while. When I was a kid, I had friends who lived with parents who beat them. You'd think it was their dad, but it was their mom who actually did it. At some point, one of those friends had believed in God. An uncle or something had told him about it. My friend believed in it because, well, he said it was real. But I think it was a distraction from the real problem. He didn't want to admit that his mom was psychotic, so he told himself another story to appease his unsettling nature.
What do you think you do to me? Always waking up and dreaming with your eyes closed. I feel weighed down. But not in an oppressive way. Almost like I'm supposed to be there, to where I'm going to.
The sky was still gray, Even at midday, the sun had no color between the trees. I hate when you do that.
There was that party once we were hosting. It was sort of like a coming home gathering, I think. You were coming back from the hospital from some minor thing, I can't remember. I do remember there were some people we hadn't seen in a while. Those two brothers and their sister. God, they hate each other now.
From lower boardwalk to the ocean, the wide expanse of the sky meeting the sea beyond sight into the eroding daylight.
I'd like to open up to you, crying as you're wont. I really don't know where to begin, even if I did. Do you like today? I know you always enjoy the rain. It's nice to see that, perhaps. Who are you now? I see you down there, screaming silently for a falling grace that never comes. It's strange. You don't want me now. At least I think that. But you did then. And you want me to help with whatever it is, if it's not me who causes it. Does that make sense to you?
It is funny how we delude ourselves. There really is no recollection of dreams or desires. Everything is a present wish that will never be fulfilled. Anyway, my friend lived that way for a while, but his mom never changed, as much as he prayed for her to.
When I was growing up, I didn't think I'd have to think about where I was so much. As a kid, things just happen. It's only when you become an adult, those same decisions have more meaning.
So one day he came home from college and shot his mom and himself. Didn't do much to help his dad, but he moved on. Maybe his dad was happier not having the mom around. I remember hearing about it and not going to the funeral. I had talked to him as frequently as I wanted. We went to different schools.
Blackness in a haze. The street beyond, lingering, coming into view. The driver stands at the door, as if to wait for an unforeseen image of pristine vanity. I beckon and bring upon him the weight of action and simple movement. How long will you linger in the sea? Until the clouds are parted and a child waits at the shoreline. A reverse image of yourself, crying for a strong hand to direct. And give meaning to a voiceless echo as the waters wash in your mouth and cleanse your soul.
But because of him, I did become saved, I guess. There was a period I went to church and I felt fine about it. It's funny, you would think after a tragedy like that, my faith, or whatever you want to call it, would be shattered. But it wasn't. I actually convinced myself it was getting stronger. But it was eroding. What was there, anyway? It was a slow process, one I didn't notice. Erosion is strange. You never really ask for it and you convince yourself against it. But erosion is an equalizer. It silently weighs who we think we are against what we actually will be. Who are you now, anyway? How did you get here, and Why did I choose you? I thought you were something else. At least you set yourself as such. Did you remember when we got married? I don't. I mean, I was there, but you didn't want me involved in the planning or anything. How come women can be terribly rude to everyone about their wedding? Anyway.
The cow eats in the field and drinks in the air.
You hadn't checked on the restaurant before today? You really wanted me to schedule it my own birthday? Shouldn't you plan it? We aren't even halfway through, and I already wish it wasn't my birthday.
Why do you always have to fight? I thought today was a nice day. You are sad. But maybe I don't want to hear about it. Maybe I do want to hear about it, but I can't. Maybe I can't. But so what? What if I don't care? Ha! You always say I don't care enough. Come on. Let it go, jeez. Do you ever think about what I like? I've lost some of that. I'm not sure when, but it did happen. It would have been nice had you asked. What do you see when you look at me? Do you see who I am or what you want? Are they the same thing? I didn't know you much then, and maybe I should have asked more questions.
For those who dream blindly.
If I could read your eyes, to be less alone. I thought maybe you could have told me about what was going on then, or later there would be a time you would talk to me. Always hoping.
Well, whatever. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal to you, but when you don't think about it, I feel like an afterthought. Anyway. I thought there was a clear path to what I wanted. You had laughed when I told you stories of mine, so there was no way I was going to tell you about my friend. Wait, I was talking about the wedding.
Why don't you talk to me? Is there a dream I'm not in? I don't want separation to be common, but come on, you just look over the ledge without me. Nobody saw me as a child, except my sister. It's hard being in that world. Usually fighting with parents can be really difficult. But what if you are not able to fight it out? I mean, to have parents is to have statues that dictate their demands from behind closed doors.
Your dad didn't really say anything helpful to me, though I don't blame him. I didn't think you could handle conflict then, and it hasn't changed. What are you saying now? Why would you bring this up now? You always value money more than the moment. It's like no matter what I do, the fear you have about everything just takes precedence. It's like the wedding too. You seemed fine with spending it on the wedding itself, but you gave me no budget or control over the honeymoon, but still wanted me to plan it? You acted like we somehow couldn't enjoy ourselves at all. What's the problem with that? Why is there always some barrier to happiness with you? And this is a great example. You treat my birthday as some inconvenience that you will feel guilty about later with money. Good God, Laura, are you still talking?
So my sister was my parent, as I wanted one, not as they are. When I see them again, they are strangers. Strangers in an angry dream. You know what's absurd? How on earth could I have been left to be parented by my sister, and when she left, I was to blame for it?
Doom-laden, formulating, dreams linger in clouds, for they have no place to land.
Could you remember as we were, dreaming in small corners of thought and memory, too far displaced to be close, and too closely pleading to see?
This is what you do. This is what you do. You manipulate me, make me think you care, and then bring up a subject out of context that doesn't matter just to start a fight. What is your problem? And now somehow, if I don't agree with you, I'm abusing you somehow? Is there any way you can retain consistency? What do you actually want from me? And when? Is it my birthday? Can't you just wait? Just shut up and wait. I wonder what death is like. I mean, there has to be something more than a life of bickering. Is divorce capable of fixing issues? Why do we stay together if it ends up being a nightmare?
When my sister left, there was a mist outside the door. It was tangible, like ever-shifting foam. It evolved out of a vast amorphic shape and stood before me. I could see her through it and called out to her, but she never turned around. The shape spoke to me. I don't remember the words, but I feel them behind my forehead, ever present, immovable.
I don't understand what is the immovable object. What keeps me from leaving you? I think I have to. I know it's best for you and I, but I can't seem to do it.
That's strange, isn't it? And now, look at you. You're sad. For what? Can't you be there for me when I need it, rather than need everything explained to you? Sometimes I need a focused silence to know you're still there.
I know hatred is bred in you. I don't think your mother trained it out of you. But what do I know? I always wonder what you think of the world, what it means to live. It never seems to follow things too far in your case. You always seem to cut your own happiness in half. Isn't that funny? I wish it was snowing now. When I was growing up, it would snow here. Sometimes huge amount. Sometimes we couldn't come up for Christmas. But it's really a beautiful thing to see, because the ocean makes the snowfall harder. At least I think it does. I miss those days. I much prefer them to now. It's been hard telling you things from my childhood. At this point, there's no reason to try again. It's like a refuge now anyway. I feel like you've poisoned so many things that are sacred to me.
Very simply, dream. For you have limited time. What will occur? Will you reach for me? Will you reach for you?
I didn't think I wanted it then. Maybe it was convenient. Loneliness makes people act in strange ways.
So it's nice to go to a mind garden that you don't know about and are not allowed in. God, that sounds so cheesy. A mind garden? Whatever.
Breathe in me, for I am always.
Was I lonely? I don't really know, but it seems like I must have been for things to be as they are now. People say there must be self-love before others can love, and you must accept me as I am. What does that even mean? Am I lovable as I am? And if I'm not, is that a good thing? Or maybe not a good thing, but perhaps an important thing?
The fake apology. You always do this to ensure the event isn't ruined. It's amazing to me how clearly broken you are, and you won't admit it. There is nothing genuine from you, and it makes no sense, and it hurts. I still don't know why I go along with it. There's nothing real that I'm saving. I guess it can go for today. I'll pretend to address it later.
It lasts beyond my thoughts or eyes, to sit on the sand, to be taken away. When that will be, who can say?
You know, I didn't think you wanted me a few years ago. It's hard being alive in a dream where things are the way you wish them, and then waking up. She went to school before I did, by a couple of years. Wow! Do you see that? Out there. The way the rain was. How the sun is now. When she would come home, it would never really be the same. An intensity beyond in her eyes, and there was no resolve. Before school, our favorite thing to do was dance, in one way or another. It was a bizarre thing doing that, and then suddenly it stopped. I wasn't sure why, but she never danced after that.
I am you, somewhere beyond the pavilion. I have seen you dream once, where animals are bones and time is cyclical. The creatures live in breathless memory, harsh as the desert sunlight. Do I know you, child? Have I named you after me?
I like times like these, as long as I forget times that aren't these. It seems like there is no in-between for us, but I wish there was. I think the extreme fluctuations, the severe nature of our interactions gives me whiplash.
Hearken to the sea, for she sings your song. If there is death to bring, she will inform you of it.
Do you remember when we dated? We used to talk about where we would be after a few years. Well, that was a long time ago. I guess our relationship ended sometime. That happens to people. I feel confused though. It doesn't seem like I've lost anything. I just feel angry at how cruel you've become.
I like being here. It's warm, and my feet carry me away in thoughts that are not my own. Time to change, I suppose, but I don't like it. Do you smell the air? Richness is... Come dance with me, please.
You make this place reek. I didn't think that was possible. It is strange. We are children in a strange land, following guides we were given, not chosen.
Frayed and indisposed, a genteel wandering. Drifting beyond material and ethereal, those who dream are both real and imagined. In some larger phrase, the universe speaks.
Today has been nice to get out. Do you remember who I am? Is home anything I wish it to be now? The harbinger smiles in a frigid cage, mortified in a semblance of imagery, tied to the cavern of guilt and lashing out.
As we grow, they show us all these places, and some touch us deeper than others. But they are ours, and all experiences truly belong to us. I thought they could not be affected because they belonged to me. But outside forces have more power than I thought. You have permeated this, my world.
Will you say something to me? I would like to know what's going on. It's hard not knowing. I can't tell you these things. the stress would be too great. Can't you understand? There is nothing for you to do here. If I feel pressured, imagine what I could do to you. I could never live with myself if I damaged you.
I hear you calling out, semblance to a fractured sense of knowledge, seeking love.
In middle school, I still tried to be with her, but her sadness was widening. I was on the edge of a precipice, calling out to her any way I could, but she didn't hear me. She was just in high school then, swimming her way to the light, or what she thought it was.
The memories now taste like ashes in my mouth. You are a bitterness, as wormwood, and I wish it wasn't so.
You are weak and unsettled, doomed to wander all that is, a drifting cataclysmic regret. I call to you in waking dreams, taxing my conscience and will. I drown in the river constant, straining beyond touch or reason, estranged from a lesser reckoning.
What if I deserted you? I don't mean in a permanent way, I just mean in isolated incidents. I can't always keep you from drowning. You have to learn how to swim yourself. I'm so tired.
Her despair permeated dreams, and a hollowed shell with bleeding eyes stared at me in the night. I would cry silently in the warmth of the sun. I could not see, but I could feel. She would not come to me, and I danced on the mountains alone. Growing up then, there was a gate at the end of the drive. Far away it seemed. It was strange. I thought it called to me sometimes. Light is weird. I hate when it appears and I don't want it. The gate was large, beyond what I could feel. It was cold and sleek when it moved.
I didn't think you actually understood my view on God when we got married. And I still don't. That's why you somehow always try to comfort me, which, you know, I hate. It always feels like coddling, like you don't think I'm strong enough to deal with it. Why do you always do that? You don't like God either, so why do you feel the need to balance me out? Can't we just agree on something?
Never remember another drop, so to see another window.
You've seen the gate, of course, when we go to my parents. You didn't really understand what I was saying, but I remember we fought because you thought it was a waste of time. Why do you always do that to me anyway? There is something about your selfishness. It's so present. I can't stop drowning in it. It seems like everything I say is an inconvenience to you. Honestly, who are you? Why am I here next to you now? What is marriage? I mean, what makes it valuable enough to lose yourself for it? I think the more you give up, the more aware you are of the things you are losing. Stupid. That is so stupid.
I used to grow up here. Back when I was growing. That's something I haven't thought of before. Have I stopped growing? I guess I've always been growing. But it seems I can't now with you. Maybe.
What if I actually expressed the idea of not being married? I know what your reaction would be. Absolutely. It's so hard to have this conversation, really.
Usually I go and you stay. I don't know why that is or what it means, but it's how it is. It's funny because it seems ironic. If I don't like you, or at least feel I can't be near you, then going away should make me happier. But it doesn't. I actually feel sick. You always think my supposed cruelty is intentional. But it really isn't. I desperately want to be near you, but you make it impossible. And you get upset when I tell you that, and you deny you have any part of my feelings. What else am I supposed to do or feel? Can't you tell me?
The reaction is also so defensive, so self-centered. What if I just hate marriage, not you? Is it possible to separate the two? Lingering heat, do not comfort me, for I do not know you. If there is another dream, a wider sunrise, in the broken mirror of a forgotten land, who does the bell ring for? Am I dead now? Walking? Who are you? Really? If you don't accept me in all these ways that I exist, do you really exist with me? Or are you something else entirely?
Do you think I was there? Breathless and draining away, crying into the night. A journey-wide memory in the haze of your eyes that strain and unable to see. I can't follow you the way you want. It won't benefit us. I will lie there, seeing you dream. But the door is locked, and I cannot see inside. But I do hear you breathing, singing, screaming. You're begging for a way out, but I can't help you. I thought I was supposed to. I thought I could.
On her 16th birthday, she came home with some gifts from her classmates. A smile finally came to her. Mom forgot. It didn't matter. So she asked me to play video games with her until Dad hopefully brought the cake home. I was weightless. I forgot I had parents. A wind rushes through sand, as if to say something to me.
Dream loudly, for no one can hear you.
There was a girl I knew a long time ago, long before I met you. She had an interesting way about her. What I mean is, well, there wasn't anything I actually knew about her, not directly anyway. It's strange because I only have memories of her at a distance. I liked her a lot, but there was nothing there really, except what I probably pretended was there.
Do you care about moving forward? I'm always planning ahead. Where to live, what to do with our lives and potential children. Ah, children. Are we ever going to talk about them? Or am I going to dream alone? The field is wide, with the heat in the edge, like liquid fire. I am buried alive by the earth, by the hand of the farmer in the sunlit day. I can hear you screaming, but you aren't really looking for me. I just stand there to drink the earth. When Dad came home, he did bring cake, but that was all. It didn't last long. She wasn't really allowed to have friends over for a party, so it just kind of ended. I can see now how frustrating it must have been. I was too young to be a constant companion, but she didn't really have friends to hang out with anyway.
Under the tabernacle, a giant pinnacle of esoteric feeling, where the realm of tentative scenes and a montage of light the memories sit before me.
Pain is a strange thing. We put pain in boxes to differentiate them, to help us understand what we want. Pain is an ever-present existence, the garment you wear. Some outfits you like better than others. Some fit us better. Pain that we have explained or justified to ourselves in a way makes us accept it more clearly. Sometimes I think I would rather admire that girl from a distance still, but is that because I love her more than you? Or because I can justify that type of pain to myself better than the pain I'm currently in? I think I do love you, at least for now. But I think I always did. See? I can't even explain it to myself, really. I see sometimes a large obstruction wide as the sea.
The harbinger cries silently in a working tandem, with no formidable distractions. A powerful sign unto God, without crawling and rambling.
It doesn't move, but it bears down upon me. Does that mean I'm moving towards it? If I am, how do I stop? Should I be moving far away from you? I'd like to see the great expanse but I'm afraid of drowning.
As I remain now, there is no larger framework. Within the dream, I lay my spirit.
Anger abounds. A seething whirlwind of unspoken emotions in a gentle wave. It comes and arrives unrealistically, bringing a wider journey through a tighter vision. You weren't the same way then as you are now. What was it? Was it your sister leaving? It couldn't have come as much of a shock. Anyone could see it. At least that's what you tell me. She didn't want you, it seems, or anyone really. The bonds are never as tight as we want them to be.
Honestly, why do you leave me in a lurch? Is that your intention? Or just a byproduct of your selfishness? I've asked you before to be more present, but that only seems to happen on your terms. I am isolated in a chamber. I ask you to come in, and you refuse. You always have to somehow come to those conclusions yourself. You won't listen to me at all.
Still, it doesn't mean it's okay. Why did you ask me to invest in the relationship if it was like entering a burning building? You said we would do it together, but instead it fell apart even more. And even though you didn't blame me, you didn't know where to put your anger, so you took it out on me. It's weird when people think that by not asking for help, that means they're being selfless. Nobody understands really. Honestly. Why does it leave us so empty?
She doesn't dream, he that dreams of you, silent in water. Can you see my bleeding eyes?
Does she cry loudly in a room far away? Can I hear her screaming, animalistic with a carnal desire embodying her final breath? She lays there, dreaming, in a heated cage. Do you see what I'm saying? What is it you do to me, and when? Who are you? Who are you really? Do you remember who I was? Who I am now? Why do we sit here now pretending for everyone around us that we don't really know? Just for, well, for what? It doesn't benefit anyone else to see what they want to see. Wouldn't the truth be better for them and for us? I'm not so sure that you're real. I can see you there, of course, moving, dancing.
Do you want children? You keep saying you do, but there is no action on your side to make it happen. Why? Can't you just make a choice? I don't even know why I'm asking this. I'm not even clear if you love me or not. I shouldn't even have to ask that question. I didn't think there was a flow to the world, a way that justified thoughts and visions. If someone could reach out from the void and touch my forehead, maybe it would enter my process and affect me, change my ways.
Do you remember dancing? That was always a nice time. You would come out of your parents' home and we would drive into the city and dance on the second floor of some strange building at the edge of town. It was loud, it was wild, and we kept having to dance with other people, but it was fun, and the look on your face was clear enough.
Who are you now? Where did you go? Was there a time we dreamed in endless vision? A time to call our own? Who came in and covered your eyes? Are you crying under there?
I like it when you laugh. It's nice and intoxicating. I think that's why I avoid telling you things. Nothing is ever simple with you.
I am dead, and you are dying. My tears fill the basin of wonder and delusion. Waste away my flesh in hours of needless rest, avoiding the ticking of craven irrelevancy, unto a fell night, withered and grey.
I don't want you to stop being happy if I need to work through something by telling you. Maybe you feel things too strongly. Or maybe I don't feel them strong enough. Or maybe you make those feelings too personal. Feelings that should be mine. I say what I need when the moon is full and ocean is dry. Death is a larger thing, and it screams voidless with silent wonder to my earth and my dreams. I struggle with myself a lot. The horrendous part of myself wished you had jumped. Why didn't you? Maybe that's not the right question. Why did you linger there, debating whether to jump or not? Had you finally become self-aware and been overwhelmed by the pain you had caused me? I really wish that were the case, but most likely not. You probably thought of something terrible I've done and become overwhelmed by it. Then I'd have to talk you off a ledge, like I always do.
Who am I to you that tears away the sky in a pitiful wail?
My eyes see nothing but poised cacophony on the edge of silent worship. Decay enters my bloodstream and I no longer sleep. I am a journeyman, a queen of endless wandering, to slip into the river and scream till tomorrow's end. As I see you now, well, I don't know. It doesn't matter now. It's not like you would listen to me anyway. I thought once that there was a benefit to dating 1,000 people. The problem is that you might like some stuff from each of them. So each successive person is always up against the predecessor. And because they aren't them, they can never fully satisfy. It's hard to view people objectively or just judge them on their own merits. Are people supposed to fulfill arbitrary expectations or just exist as they are, to live with someone until they can't anymore? Jovial, ecstasy bred within me. Why do you dangle things in front of me? Just to see me fall? There are times where you put in effort, a reasonable amount, but just for a moment. When can you be with me all the time? I don't mean all your attention or that you aren't your own person. I just mean to be present. Don't think about or plan it out. Just call to nothing. Stay in the moment. I feel abandoned constantly. Why can't you be something other than what I know? Isn't all this is meant to be anyway?
Will we ever move? I want to be near people, but I don't know if you want to be. Things outside can be really, well, anyway.
If you think of me as I am now, would you prefer I jumped? Would you come after me? Would I come after me?
Am I dying slowly, in a blinking light, with no reprieve in grand visitation alongside the canyon of decay, with bones and wishes in a formless ideal long broken to set forth across the river of empty promises?
Aren't you a refuge? If you are, then what am I? Is my plane somewhere beyond yours? Should I be here now? Why do I love you so, if nothing can quell my restless spirit?
Do you resent me? And if so, why? You were the one who abandoned the relationship, using the past, your sister leaving, as an excuse.
I cared so much then, waiting for her to come back to me. Listless. It was like she couldn't remember my name. Mom and Dad saw it but didn't do anything. Why doesn't anyone do anything about it?
I kept asking you to just care, even for a second, but it was too much. anytime you did something hurtful, you always attributed it to some vague situation in your past. No matter how much room I gave you, it was never enough.
Or rather, why do people want to do something about it until it becomes real, ugly, present, and uncomfortable, and doesn't benefit them in any way to help? Anyway.
You have always been ungrateful, I think. I just didn't see it until later. I could say it was too late, but who knows? It sure feels like it. I remember a few years ago we were fighting. There was some argument about money. I think we were deliberating whether to spend more or less on a hotel room when we went to see my parents. Looking back, it was so stupid, but you kept pushing it. You wanted to get a cheaper room by something like $10, and I didn't want to. We never really get to see my parents, and you couldn't relieve control for just a day. Do you even remember this? Or have you blocked it out, like everything else?
Who are you now? Where has your body laid to rest? Have the trees eaten your soul and it dances now among the stars? Is God an illusion, dripping in the dark? His eyes, caverns of night. A weariness overtakes him until all his children are consumed in a gentle fire.
Do you know how to play that? Your hair is interesting. Stop playing with it and play.
Who am I now that drifts beyond the wall of sleep? Captured in ecstasy and foaming at the mouth. To regard endlessness as futile in the warmth of blissful
sensationalism. Do you dream loudly, little one? Has he come to remove your eyes? Whom do you seek in the recesses of the day to drag you silently into the night? Kiss the sky for those who can see, and we all dream in darkness, within the shroud of a larger hubris, with no limitations, only honesty. Take me away, for I linger in a half-believed memory far too long. Lay me to rest in the meadow of justice and moral distinction. Didn't I love you when I was awake?
Shattering dreams while contemplating silence, drifting in some other time, a memory manifests, stars singing in a long, tempering dance.
Instead, you fought me on it, ignoring my request. We went ahead with the cheaper option, and you still didn't talk to me for 2 days, even though you got what you wanted. I think that's what's hilarious about it. You weren't angry about the hotel anymore. You were angry about the fact I had thought you about it at all. How crazy is that? What am I allowed to do in this relationship? What do you expect of me?
Coward, you are. You could have loved me in your best way, but you still can't be honest about anything. What if I were to leave you? Not for someone else, but for you.
I wonder who God thinks is right. Why are there no patches for me to lay in, to rest my head? Why do the brambles cut my eyes in permanent fashion, clearing my head of thoughts and memories?
To finally have a reason to be honest. I might not be able to be here for that. You can understand, can't you? You can't understand, can you?
I didn't think loudly, did I? And swimming lengthwise down the river breeds nothing but discontent.
Just for a moment. Can you take me as I am? Unknown in the realm. Do I breathe a dream quest? Killing and notching, estranged from a different pathway.
Sometimes I feel like you're around as a thing, without really listening to how you treat me. Since it doesn't matter anyway. What if you could hear me? What if you could see me? Would it change you or me?
You are my valley, seamless as a river imminent, without pretense or caution coasting down to understanding. Where have all my children gone? There was a particular time where I didn't view her correctly. Sure, I was young, but that doesn't excuse it. I pressured her to love me, to know who I was, to remember that I am. In the morning, I sat at the window and dreams flowed through the sill, taunting me with endless chittering, beyond a recollection that was comfortable. Aren't you strange there, beyond the glass? Can you breathe? Can you see? I don't suppose you see me, but if you did, what would you say? How many excuses would you have?
She dances across the clouds, shimmering and translucent, while the harbinger eats the sand below her.
I feel like I'm spinning my wheels with you. Some part of me can't imagine it any other way, though. Is that what all this is? Do you keep me perpetually shattered, and I like it? What happens after dust becomes him? Ha! You see me, don't you? I didn't think there was a greater love than the one you have for yourself. I was wrong, but not in the way you think. I am broken, yes, but not in the way you want. Can't you love me? You can't. I said. You can't love me. You can't. You can't love me. You can't. You can't.
You know, your parents loved your sister too. It seems like she cared for your family. At least that's what I hear. It's funny because your parents can't really talk about her around you, not about their feelings of loss. You don't see that you take up all the room and have a hard time sharing emotions and letting others share theirs. I know you're beautiful. I know it. Do you want me to remain as I am or someone different? And do you touch me in one way or another? Why do we all dream in darkness when the light is so close it melts on my tongue? My eyes are removed in some other day and I cry in the swell of ocean tide for the lingering time. I want you. I want you more than anything. You are there in front of me. I can touch you. I can see you. But I'm not here. I'm beyond and before you. It's like we're already dead, dreaming together in a darkness to sing a song neither of us can hear. Can't you hear me? I'm right here. I'm even looking at you. You have to hear me. We aren't breathing. We aren't dreaming. Blind, aren't we? Hear me! Please! Hear me! Please. Dreams are strange, aren't they?
What do you mean?
Well, I have nightmares a lot lately. It's weird, I never used to have them.
Since when?
Dreams are strange, aren't they?
What do you mean?
Well, I have nightmares a lot lately. It's weird, I never used to have them.
Since when?
Since when did I start?
No. Since when did you never have nightmares? Everyone does?
Well, I just never did.
Are you enjoying the food?
Definitely. You?
Same.
Does it really matter that I never have had nightmares? I'm just saying I do now.
I guess not.
Since when did I start?
No. Since when did you never have nightmares? Everyone does?
Well, I just never did.
Are you enjoying the food?
Definitely. You?
Same.
Does it really matter that I never have had nightmares? I'm just saying I do now.
I guess not. What are they about?
I don't remember, I just remember they are there.
They linger, you mean?
Yeah.
Maybe you should think about them.
In what way?
Maybe bringing attention to things you're avoiding.
I'm avoiding something?
Maybe. I'm just saying.
I guess, yeah.
What are they about?
I don't remember, I just remember they are there.
They linger, you mean?
Yeah.
Maybe you should think about them.
In what way?
Maybe bringing attention to things you're avoiding.
I'm avoiding something?
Maybe. I'm just saying.
I guess, yeah.
What hides beyond the wall of recognition? As the woman shakes and trembles, she laughs into the air with a gaping maw. And you scream nothingness into her mouth, yet still beg for a response.
It was the summer, right before she turned 18. I woke up early one morning and sat in my bed. I was young, 14, I think. I had been really rude to her the night before. I was pent up. I felt like she was so far away and she didn't want me anymore. So I became angry and lashed out and screamed at her in front of Mom and Dad. I didn't care anymore. So I was sent to bed early. I remember hearing them fight even after I left the room. Later on, she came into the room. I hadn't fallen asleep, so I heard her crying in the dark. Eventually she stopped, but I didn't care. In the morning the sun was dim, coming through the window. I sat up in my bed. It was cold somehow. I remember that clearly. I sat there thinking how unfair it was. Why do I have to love so needlessly, with no limits? To be set alight in the daytime, crucified for the world to see.
I grew up here, in these houses, on these streets. I thought it could save me, memories, I mean. But they don't have much value after they are lived through. They remind me of a time I've always wanted back, rather than accept what I live in now. I wish it was easier to forget. It would help.
Light a canter horse aflame and watch him willow and fold, another foil in the stable of relief.
Who are you now? Anyway.
And I looked across the room to her, asleep and alone. All the air had left the room, and I was isolated with my words. Ellie, I'm really sorry. I don't like who you are now. You used to take care of me. You used to play with me. Who are you anymore? I'm so alone. Don't you even care? I hate you. I never thought I could hate anyone, but I hate you.
I know God loved me once. I'm sure of that. I don't know if it lingers somewhere and I'm still looking for it, or just for what I want. Sometimes I wish I knew a clearer answer, but it feels like it doesn't exist anymore.
I sat that way for a while. Silence can cure most things, but it can't cure hate. Those things must be worked out. Not with anger or justice, but with grace and humility. At least that's what I've heard. I don't know why anyone would choose those, but they are there for a reason, I guess.
I waver above the water in a long, suffering moment. Those who drown always cry, and so they are lost. No one can find their tears.
I'm not sure what it is, but I know it's something tangible. Do you think that's why we haven't moved? Part of me thinks it's my fault, just always living in fear, maybe, if that's something I do.
Maybe I expect too much of you, and I know you're sad. I don't really hate you. I just feel so alone. I can hear you fight with Mom and Dad. I can hear you cry sometimes. But I just want you to want a hug from me. Can't I love you? Can't I be there for you? I just want to love you. It's too much being far away. I see you come home from school and hide away. Sometimes I sit in the room just to be near you, waiting for you to wake up. Can't I love you? Anyway, the paramedics came a little later. They told us she had overdosed on sleeping pills and died sometime in the night. Long before I had woken up. You can't love me. You can't.
But lately, I've thought of another reason. Why do you push me so hard? What if I need time to be somewhere else inside? It can't be unreasonable to want space. Time to know who I am before I become someone else. But I don't think you like waiting around, or at least, patience is not your strong suit. That's why you consider it all to be just waiting around. What if I died tomorrow? Would you wait around and mourn? Or do you have your life planned out, with or without me? I'd like to know I'm not an afterthought in your life. I'd like to know you actually care for me, about the things I've been saying. What am I now anyway?
Are you with me in the night? This dreary domain, insatiable, without fear of troublesome compensation. I can believe in the remains of nothing. A pillar exists in the forethought of time, a testament to that which is, a cataclysmic obelisk of death and tentative vanity. Where are you now, anyway? Did the river take you to some other realm, where men cannot sing and birds wriggle as fish in trees of liquid fire? I cannot remain here, for those who do live a fraught existence, complete in a kettle of boiling promise, only to be blind while drowning. I want who I am, and I thought I wanted you as well. Have you stayed with me in the night? But who are you now, anyway? The Empress stands before me in a gentle need, a wanting, broken, desirable, jumping into the canyon of thought. As I am now, so shall I ever be.
Then again, I suppose that's not entirely fair to say. I do feel these things, surely. But you haven't heard my mind. You can't, of course. I know I've said these things to you before, in my own way.
The sea is a strange thing. It tells you what it wants to, and those who risk for more are rarely rewarded. But shouldn't the sea be grateful for those explorers? Those that value her enough to want more of her? to weather the dangers of all that is unknown, to make it known, to make it so.
Who am I now that they see me? Gentle and wanting? I am she who cries in the night, a vessel of unimaginable terror and untamable need. Who could I be in some other time? Shall I remember that which is, in a lightly treaded wood, to bring peace to those who cannot see? I am blind in a veil of blood. It is sweet as it drips into my throat. I choke on truth, and my body is ashes. I see him that cries in the daytime, as a sailor on a ship to a coastal dream, to forgive a lasting wound as it festers and boils into the arm. And my fever enters my thoughts, poisoning freedom. He has been dead, and yet he cries still. Who am I now that the sun licks my eyes? I can feel it and guess. In a terrible wake, the drowning of heat kills my head. My hair will be gone, and I will play still. For those who dream in darkness, I will play still.
But you didn't hear me. Or I didn't say it right. And realistically, how can I fault you for what you don't know?
I guess I never viewed it that way before. And maybe I should sometime. Should I bring my anger to bear when all you are doing is trying to know? Is anything justified? Am I justified? Maybe you need to know all these things. Or maybe not. I don't know. The sea is a strange thing. Don't you see?
And dimness abounds. In a lighted room, I lay on the table, dreaming of a lidless eye, to swallow the earth. My mind is drifting, wordless in the light, happy to change my thoughts into a moldable form, without limit, indicative of a wider morning. For I dream in darkness, amid the clamor of the wind, with no respite, I will no longer wake.
Shouting obscenities at a glass fixture and bathed in a darkened light. Salivating in a shallow grave, the sky pouring dry rain in a maelstrom of undeniable memory and grace.
Mourning is a simple thing to act upon. I cannot choose that which I feel, that which I portray. The light, it overwhelms me, blinding me to the great beyond. Shall you tie me up to the mountain cave, where wolves ravage the paths, and the angels rest their laurels among the blood of feasting, singing to the sun? Heat breathes in my chest, and I cry out. Under the shade, journeys gather their numbers, and I am overrun. For I still dream in darkness. I can hear the others, but I am alone.
To the end, wherever the end is.
I see in the gilded cage 2 pheasants forming around the silver snake. A child dances as the music sounds in the whisper hall to play for the remaining guests at the dinner of the royal house. The king has died, and they devoured the body, a noxious laughter cackling through the hollow chambers. A joyful exclaim bellows in the journeyman's stature, while the cacophony of wasted children screams acute. Their eyes removed to feed the birds that fly around the heads of the world. Who am I now? I am the second river. Bring all that is to fruition. What is my gift, my blessing? Am I doomed to shuffle the earth, swim in the air? Rather, you are to be pitied. The wailing of the tears reach the highest plateau. For you will linger without reprieve in the lethal twilight of your own devising. To drink blood, to bleed darkness.